internet. I am an artist. I'm also Asian. So when my parents asked me if I wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer, my lazy ass chose the easiest one out of the three. Engineer. Now, if you combine code and arts together, you get something called game dev. So that's what I did. And now that my game's released, I have no purpose in life anymore. So I thought, might as well make a video about it. Now, I'll only be talking about the art in the game since code is boring and for nerds. So, yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, so first, Woodblock Prints. In the game they look like this, and I call them cutscenes. I don't know what else to call them, but essentially they're made from these. This is like, you could think of it as a stamp. You have like positive and negative areas. So like the positive prints and negatives don't. And these are all made from wood. Now what kind of wood? This is MDF. I don't know if it's actually wood. It's on the wood section in Home Depot. But it's very boring. There's no texture at all. Although it's easy to carve, it looks ugly. So I decided to choose a better wood. Now, I stumbled across something called fence wood. Worst decision of my life. There's a lot of texture and everything, but it's very soft. And you would think soft stuff is easier to carve, but I guess you could think about cutting bread with a dull knife. This stuff is impossible to carve. It sucks, there's texture, but it's not worth the effort. So now we settle on something in between. Plywood. Plywood is this wood that's glued together. It has a texture, it's easy to carve somewhat. So yeah, I settled on plywood in the end, and I think it looks the best. Now after these are done carving, they're printed, and the printed ones look like this. So these are the prints. There's supposed to be 5 of them. I don't know where the 5th one went. It's lost somewhere. But this is what the prints look like, and you can see how the block turned into the print. Now these are, all of them vary a bit based off of the amount of ink I used and where I applied it. And now you might be wondering how we get from this into this. Well, I'm glad you asked, although you probably did not. Here, I'll show you. So first, we have to get the artwork to digital. So you take the photos of the artwork, and then you take the square, and you crop it out, and that looks like this. After you take all 5 of these that are squared, we take them and combine it into one GIF, and then we take that GIF, using an HDMI to AV adapter, we display it on a TV that looks like this. Then we take the camera and we take 30 photos of it, not video, since video looks horrible, and with the photo I can control the scan line better, and then we take the photos, we put it back on the computer, and it looks like this. So now you can kind of see the scan line down here, and then after we have this, we have to crop out the 2 black bars on the side and make it into a square. So that looks like this. Now, in this step, we also add some exposure, saturation, increase the sharpness a little, just some image effect to make it look better. And then we combine all 30 of these photos into one MP4, and it looks like this. So after we have this, we import it into Unity, and then the process is done. So these are Japanese woodblock prints, similar to these, but instead we have multiple of these that we just combine into a single print. This allows for much more detail, which you can see here, and also much more color. So yeah, the process looks something like this. This is just another print. So this is the, I guess, key block, the main part. You can see how the detail down here lines up with everything here. Basically the black goes to the black. And then we have a little bit of the beige color down here, which you could see down here. And then we have some shadows down here, a little bit darker beige, which you could see here. And then finally we have a little bit of a white highlight, which you can see right here. Now, the issue with this is that it takes much longer comparable to the normal woodblock prints, and I think my brain just isn't really built for this stuff. But you know, I did it anyways. It turns out okay, I guess. It's satisfying to do, kinda. But yeah, woodblock prints. They look like this in the game. They're being burnt, kinda because these weren't up to my standards and I couldn't just show them directly in the game, so I just kind of burnt them. Now, if you want to check out more about the woodblock prints, the Japanese woodblock prints more specifically, go check out a channel called devlog. That's where I learn all the stuff I know about it, although not very well, but you know, check him out. It's pretty cool. Now, moving on. So there's really nothing else to really talk about. I guess we could talk about these, the woodblock prints. You know, this is the only one that still remains in the game, but you know, I just wanted to try digital art and I decided to just like slap it in the game, and it's there now. These are called posters in the game. You collect them every time you die. You might notice that the ones that remain in the game are very blocky. There's no like opacity. There's no blending, I guess. That's because I spent most of my life doing physical art, so when I went and tried digital art, I couldn't for the life of me control the brush pressure. So it looks very ugly, as you can see in like most of these. So I eventually just gave up and just made it so that I didn't have to control the brush pressure. I made a custom brush which is full hardness every single time, no matter what pressure. So yeah. So this is probably going to be the last thing I'm going to be talking about, the animation. Now, in the beginning when I was hand animating everything, I figured out that it took me around 12 hours per animation since I'm slow. And that's what she said, sorry. Immature dumbass. I just decided to automate it instead since it was going to take too long. So all I have to do is feed it a palette which has like the arms, shoes, legs, head, body, whatever. And then the program just has a blueprint that like takes the head, it'll put it somewhere, rotate it. We'll take the body, put it somewhere, rotate it, the arms, legs, shoes, whatever. We'll combine it all together and it looks something like this. And then it just does that a bunch of times with all the blueprints, and then I get a spreadsheet. So yeah, that's the animation. Alright, well, the video is finished. At the time of this recording, the game is at least up on Steam, so if you haven't already, you can wishlist it. If it's released, then, you know, go ahead and play it if you haven't. If you like this video, like it. If you didn't, goodbye. And, yeah, thank you for watching.